What's up, party people? How you guys doing today? It's a Friday. It's a fun day. And I'm going to be here solo today talking about everything you ever want to know about metformin and how specifically you can make lifestyle changes that are going to reduce your biological requirement for metformin, or should I say, reduce the amount of metformin that you can use to help control your blood glucose. In other words, we're going to find alternatives to metformin that actually have a very powerful effect on lowering your body weight and reducing your blood glucose and lowering your A1C value, which is a 3-month average of blood glucose, that have a profound effect. So if you're curious about how you can get off of metformin or how you can reduce your need for metformin, you're in the right place. But here's what I want to know. Go to the chat box. Just tell me where you're coming in from. Tell me where you're coming in from and tell me what form of diabetes you're living with, if any, because it's fun to see that. I will tell you, I'm coming in from Florida. It is currently 90 some odd degrees outside, which is awesome because I love the heat. And I'm also going to be trying to go to the beach this weekend because who doesn't love the beach? The comments that I see coming in right now is from Donna. She says, hello from Indiana. What's up, Donna? Glad that you can join us here. Elsa, thank you for your information. You are welcome, Elsa. Thank you for joining. D, Oakland, California, type 2. That's where I'm from. Nice work. Frank from South Carolina coming in strong. Lisa from Indiana. Love it. Donna, type 2. Amazing, Donna. Ohio, type 2 on metformin. Awesome. Thank you, Donna. Elizabeth from Canada. Juanita from West Virginia. Jeff coming in from Massachusetts. Not 90 degrees there. How cold is it in Massachusetts right now? I actually looked on the weather app to try and find out how warm or not warm it was in San Francisco, where I spent a lot of time, and I looked it up because June tends to be a pretty cold month in San Francisco, and I was like, Siri, what's the temperature in San Francisco? And it's like, currently the temperature is 55 degrees, and I was like, in June? What the heck? That's ridiculous. So if it's that cold up in Massachusetts, then I apologize. But it looks like we got people from all around the country, which is awesome. So here's the question. Go to the chat box right now and tell me this. I want you to list all of the medications that you are currently using specifically to control your blood glucose. Actually, I lied. All of the medications that you're using, period. It could be for blood glucose. It could be for blood pressure. It could be for statin medication. It could be to lose weight. It could be something like Ozempic, which is prescribed for type 2, but is also specifically used as a weight loss drug. Whatever it is. It could be thyroid medication. It could be ADHD medication, whatever it is. I want to know. Just, no pressure, but you tell me what medications you're currently using. The key that I'm looking for is a thing called metformin. I want to know how many of you guys are using metformin, or even if you've used metformin in the past, I want to know exactly who it is. The reason here is because metformin is considered the first line of defense for people who are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes because it's considered a very safe drug. In fact, it's not only considered a safe drug, there's some research that shows that metformin might actually make you live longer on this planet, which I absolutely do not believe. However, metformin is considered a drug that's like the first line of defense that is in every physician's playbook because they know that when they prescribe metformin, it will lower your blood glucose values. Okay, so let's see what's happening in the chat box right now. We got D, metformin. Peggy, just quit metformin. Super Sarah, metformin only. Bill Maher, I have type 2. Warren, metformin, glipizide. Took myself off of statins. Beth, metformin and lisinopril. Okay. Mike or Mike, I can't pronounce that. Mike? That's a cool ass name. Metformin, type 2 from Ireland. Okay. Jennifer just started metformin. Juanita, Tresiba, Humalog, and former metformin user. Okay. Oh boy. Now we got Lonnie. We got amlodipine, Humalog, hydrazine, hydrochlorothiazide for blood pressure, Lantus insulin for blood glucose, metformin, metoprolol, Prandin, rosuvastatin, which is statin medication, Centrum Silver. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, maybe we can help you with that. Okay, Donna says metformin, blood pressure medication. Seattle type 2, took off myself of metformin, says LK Holmberg on the MD program. That's good news. Okay, Denise, metformin. Andrew, thyroid. Jean was on metformin on weight loss. Elizabeth, metformin. Frank, metformin. Xforge, Coreg, Busapar. Don Johnson, metformin. Okay, there's a lot of you guys taking metformin. Okay, So I'm going to stop there just so I don't sound like a broken record. Here's what I'm learning. A lot of you guys are taking metformin, and then there's some of you who are also taking other diabetes medications, other blood pressure medications, and other statin medication. All right. So here's the deal. What the heck is up with metformin? Why do doctors prescribe it in the first place? The reason that they prescribe it is because it is it's considered a quote unquote safe medication because it does not talk directly to your pancreas. Medications that talk directly to your pancreas that stimulate insulin production are a type of drug that forces your pancreas to manufacture more insulin. The side effect of doing the effect of doing that is that it lowers your blood glucose. The side effect of doing that is that it can lower your blood glucose so much that you could become hypoglycemic, which is a life-threatening condition. And so that particular class of drug, which is called a sulfonylurea, those drugs are considered, they're only prescribed for a very small proportion of the population who don't really have a very good insulin production capacity. Metformin is a different type of drug. It's called a biguanide, and metformin is considered very safe because it has effects on your brain, it has effects on your liver, it has effects on your muscle, it has effects on your gut, and the sum total of all those effects is to just lower your blood glucose value just enough by like 10, 20, 30, 40 points, that without any, large, dangerous side effects. And it's been time tested and proven over the course of time that, when you take metformin, it does not cause hypoglycemia, which is awesome. And it can stimulate just a little bit of weight loss. But here's the thing. Metformin comes along with some side effects. And the side effects are mainly gastrointestinal side effects. These are things like nausea, and some people get like a burning sensation in the upper part of their digestive tract. And it can make your digestive system just sort of feel generally uncomfortable. And as a result of that, a lot of people have a difficult time taking it in the long term. You're supposed to take metformin with food specifically because if you don't take it with food, it can irritate your GI system even more. And so that's why the recommendation is only take metformin if you are currently eating food at that very moment in time. Otherwise, it can make your digestive system feel crappy. Okay. So I could be going out on a limb here, but my gut tells me that most of the people here, if not all the people here, want to get off of metformin. If you want to get off of metformin, or if you want to at least reduce your use of metformin, drop me a letter M in the chat box. Okay. Lowercase, capital, I don't care. M stands for I would like to reduce my use of metformin. Okay. If that's the case, then show it to me in the chat box because that's exactly what I want to see. Okay. A lot of people ask, okay, so I get Frank, Elizabeth, Rhonda, Jeff, G God, Beth, and Adela, Marie, Donna, James, Heather, Mikey, okay, Beverly, Lonnie, everybody. There's probably nobody in here that's using metformin. Is like, cool, sweet, I want more metformin, right? So the real question becomes, well, fine dude on the internet who's telling me that metformin is something I can get off of. How do I get off of it? What's the way to do that? I'll give you the short answer because the long answer would take days. Here's the short answer. Ready? The short answer is a plant-based diet. The slightly longer version of that is low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. The slightly longer version of that is called the Mastering Diabetes Method, which is low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, intermittent fasting, and daily exercise. Okay. All three of those are specifically designed to increase insulin sensitivity, increase insulin sensitivity, increase insulin sensitivity. And when you give yourself a single, double, triple whammy, your digestive system, your cardiovascular system, and your endocrine system have no choice but to become less reliant on insulin. And as a result of that, your need for medication tends to drop, and it tends to drop real quickly. Okay. So what foods in particular, Cyrus? Let me show you. Okay. On the screen, Bess, maybe if you wouldn't mind showing them the foolproof nutrition and recipe guide. We got a lot of people who are saying like, listen, all right, fine. I get it. I'm supposed to eat this like plant-based diet thing. And you're telling me that I got to do it. What am I supposed to eat, Cyrus? So we put together this thing called the Foolproof Natural Recipe Guide to Managing Your Blood Sugar. It's actually for lowering your blood glucose. Okay. And what we have put in here is a collection of recipes that are very powerful at getting you either started on the process of migrating to a plant-based diet, or they just add variety to your already plant-based diet. So you can see here in this that we have everything that's got like a quinoa power bowl that's actually very delicious. So it's got quinoa plus a bunch of vegetables. We have dishes that are made out of cauliflower that contain a bed of greens at the bottom, like spinach, because it's a nitrate-rich vegetable. We've got more chickpeas. In case I haven't told you guys, I'm a chickpea fanatic. So we purposely put a lot of chickpeas in here because they're incredibly nutrient dense and very filling. So we got some salads, we got some bean recipes, we got some smoothies, we got all types of fun stuff. We got things that look like sushi. Who doesn't want to eat that, right? So if you want this guide and you don't already have it, go to the chat box and write the word guide in the chat box, Guide. It could be all capitals, it could be lowercase, it could be whatever. Just write the word guide and we will send it to you via a direct message, okay? Here's the thing. If you are on Facebook in any way, shape, or form, just write the word guide. It's totally cool. If you're on Instagram, I lied. Sorry. If you're on YouTube and you write the word guide, we cannot give it to you on YouTube. There's just no mechanism to be able to do that. So I hate to be complicated, but if you are watching this on YouTube, and I know exactly which ones of you are watching on YouTube, do me a favor and go over to Facebook, find the page and type the word in guide. Okay. It's kind of annoying. Or you can DM us actually, write the word guide there, and then we can send it to you. So I know it adds an extra step and I know it's kind of annoying, but I didn't invent the internet last time I checked. And these are not my rules. Okay. So again, if you're on YouTube, just flip over to Facebook and write the word guide, and then we can send it over your way. Cool. Okay. I see there's a ton of guides coming in, which is awesome. So I want you guys to have this. This is 100% free. It's for you. I want you guys to start making these recipes, and I want you guys to start integrating it into your lifestyle. Why is this important? I'll tell you why it's important. Let me tell you a quick story. The year is 2002. This was, 21 years ago. I was diagnosed with 1, 2, 3 autoimmune conditions: type 1 diabetes, Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, and alopecia universalis, which is why, as you can see, I got no eyebrows, I got no eyelashes, I have no ear hair, I got no nose hair, I got nothing. Okay. Just in case that was weird, next time somebody asks you what you did this afternoon, tell them that you were on a Facebook Live with some guy who was showing you his nostrils. It's weird. So 3 autoimmune conditions in a year. It's like, ugh, whoops, did I do that? I don't know. Shoot, what did I do wrong, right? Turns out that I probably did a whole collection of things that increased my risk for autoimmune conditions. I don't know what they are, and the scientific world can't exactly explain, neither can my doctors. So all I knew is that I had to do something because my blood glucose was out of control and I was using a lot of insulin. So my doctors told me to eat a low carbohydrate diet. That did not work. My blood glucose went through the roof and I felt terrible, couldn't exercise, depressed, anxious, joints hurt, muscles hurt. It was terrible, dehydrated, you name it. Okay. Now, people are so kind. They say, Don, we love you just the way you are. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that, man. Elsa says, you have a brain. You are right. I do have a brain. Thank you, Elsa. I appreciate that. You guys are kind. So when I followed the advice of the doctors, which was to eat a low carbohydrate diet, that was supposed to control my blood glucose and keep my insulin use low. Well, guess what? My blood glucose meter was a freaking disaster. And my insulin use started creeping up from 25 to 32 to 36 to 39 to 42 to 48 to 52. And I was like, what is going on? I'm not even eating carbohydrates. I'm not eating carbohydrates. And yet my insulin use is going up. Something is not right. So as a result of that, I switched over to eating a plant-based diet. Now, I had no idea that I was walking into a magical world of insulin sensitivity. I didn't even know what that meant. All I knew was that I was just looking for a way to feel less junky. So I walked through this magical doorway and I started eating a plant-based diet that was specifically low in fat and extremely high in fiber and antioxidants and water and vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals. So when I started eating this diet, lots of fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, just like you saw on the screen. Mind blown. I six-folded my carbohydrate intake. I was eating now 600 grams of carbohydrate per day, but yet my carbohydrate use climbed up and climbed up and climbed up to like superhuman levels. And my insulin use went down, 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 down. So I was now eating 600 grams of carbohydrate for 24 units of insulin, even though previously I was eating less carbohydrate for more insulin. So I was like, what the heck is going on here? This is unbelievable. So it took me the better part of, I don't know, the next 5 years or so at doing a PhD to try and understand what the heck was going on inside of my body. And when I understood that, light bulbs went off and I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Because the world of plant-based nutrition is literally like a magical doorway that enables you to gain insulin sensitivity, reduce your risk for many cardiovascular diseases, lose weight predictably and keep it off of you for a long period of time, and lose weight permanently, I should say, and also help you either control or reverse other autoimmune conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis, such as Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. I've heard of a couple people that have been able to reverse that, but not that many. And so as a result of this, I was like, oh, this is crazy, right? So now the reason I'm telling you this story is because I'm an N of one story. I'm nothing special. I'm just a dude who started eating a diet that made a big difference in his life. And I went on to learn about it, and I recognized that it was very powerful. From that moment in the year 2016, when I started coaching people to try and teach them the same method, I was about this hopeful that I could make it work for other people. And within a short period of time, I started to recognize that this approach was very powerful for people with type 2 and people with prediabetes and people who are trying to lose weight. And before I knew it, I was like, oh my God, like this works for me, but it works better for other people. And people were calling me and they're like, Cyrus, my blood glucose is coming down so quick. I'm going to my doctor and I'm going to tell him to stop using metformin. And I was like, great, go for it. And so we saw this happening over and over and over and over and over again. And we started working with a couple people, and then that turned into 10 people, and then turned into 50 people. And then before we knew it, we had thousands of people that were doing this and getting absurdly good results. So I could geek out on all the science and I could teach you exactly what's happening under the surface, but we don't have time for that today. But what I will tell you is that when you start to eat the foods that you saw on the screen earlier, and best maybe you could pull those up again if you don't mind. When you start to eat foods that are vitamin, mineral, fiber, water, antioxidant, and phytochemical rich, you're eating foods that are extremely high in their nutrient density. And the nutrient density is the name of the game. When you eat foods that are high in nutrient density, high in fat content, and it's okay if they're high in carbohydrate content because that's not a big deal. But when you eat these types of foods, what you end up doing is relieving the pressure that has accumulated inside of your liver and inside of your muscle tissue. And the pressure is pressure that's exerted by an excess lipid concentration, meaning too much fat in your diet. So when you can kind of get rid of that fat and force your liver and your muscle to oxidize all that fat, then they begin to restore their normal functionality, which is to use glucose as a fuel. And that's exactly what you want. So you start to eat these foods then switch you over from operating in a fat economy to operating in the glucose economy. And as soon as you do that, all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, my blood glucose just came down significantly. In addition to that, you'll see, this is a perfect example. Let's just keep it here for a second. Take a look at this arugula salad, right? Basically like a smorgasbord of the favorite of tasty things that all just happen to look like a rainbow, right? You got red tomatoes, you got yellow, what is that, mangoes, you could put corn in there, you got purple cabbage, you got green arugula, you got, what is that, zucchini maybe on the top left, okay? Or cucumber, I should say. You could add anything you wanted to that. I could put black beans onto that. I could put quinoa onto that. I could add some cilantro if I wanted to that. Like you can use this as a base and you can add your favorites. But the idea here is just look at that bowl. That bowl is literally a fiber bomb. And fiber bombs that come prepackaged with a whole collection of other nutrients is exactly the formula for getting your liver and your muscle to start acting the way that they're supposed to act. And when you start to eat these foods, all of a sudden the fat accumulation, the saturated fat that's accumulated inside of them just disappears. And that's a good thing for you because that means that you regain insulin sensitivity, glucose drops, metformin need drops, and we're in a good place. Okay. So I'll stop talking there to get pretty excited about things. And what I would love for you guys to do is we're gonna stop this Facebook Live or stop this live in a couple minutes here. And I want you to switch over to the Amla Green channel, AMLA Green. I'm gonna go live again in the Amla Green channel. And there we're gonna be talking about ways that you can reduce your risk for type 2 diabetes. Okay, very specific things that you can do that also do happen to incorporate the Indian gooseberry because that's another magical doorway that I haven't talked about. So what I want you guys to do is flip over to Facebook to go to the Amla Green page and meet me there. And we'll be doing a Facebook Live over there and we're going to have some more fun. We can go for another half an hour. Okay. If you are just joining us now, write the word guide, G-U-I-D-E in the chat box. And then that way we can DM you and we can send you over the guide that you saw on the screen. Other than that, you guys, I appreciate you showing up here. This has been a lot of fun. There's a link at the very bottom. It says facebook.com/AmlaGreenHealth. Click on that link. Peace out of here. Go over there. I'll meet you there in literally 2 minutes. You guys rock. Peace.